You know, some songs are just music. But every once in a while, a song comes along that captures a moment so perfectly, it becomes something more. It becomes a piece of history. Today, we're going to dissect the Rauch-Haus-Song, a legendary German protest anthem that did exactly that. It's a report, an indictment, and a call to arms, all rolled into one.
Seriously, we're not just talking about a catchy tune here. This song, by the band Ton Steine Scherben, somehow manages to be a detailed report from the front lines of a protest, a fierce moral indictment of the state, and this incredibly powerful call for mobilization. It does all three jobs at once.
Okay, so the big question is, how on earth can one song pack that much of a political punch? Well, that's exactly what we're here to break down. And let me tell you, it wasn't an accident. It's all about its brilliant, deliberate construction.
To really get the song's power, we have to go back to the story it tells. So let's set the scene.
All right, so picture this. We're in West Berlin, early 1970s. The song is rooted in a very real event. It's basically a minute-by-minute account of activists taking over a vacant building, the Georg von Rauch House, and then the violent police eviction that followed. This isn't fiction. It's like a dispatch straight from the barricades.
And we have to be super clear about this. This is not some objective, neutral news report. Not at all. The song is intentionally partisan. It stands 100% in solidarity with the squatters and directly opposes what it presents as state repression. There's absolutely no ambiguity here.
Now, this is where it gets really smart. Notice the perspective. The entire song is pretty much told from the point of view of we. It's not one person's story. By using that collective voice, the song just pulls you right in. It makes you feel like a participant in the movement, not just some observer watching from the sidelines.
So, how does it tell this story? Well, the song unfolds like a chronicle, almost like a news report set to a killer soundtrack.
The narrative is incredibly linear, which is part of its power. First, you get the motivation. People need housing, and there are all these buildings just sitting empty. Then comes the action. A group takes matters into their own hands and occupies a house. That's followed by the state's reaction, a massive police force. And finally, you get the climax, a violent eviction and arrests. It's like a perfect four-act play of social conflict.
And what this structure does so brilliantly is it boils down a huge, complex social issue into one stark conflict: the basic human need for a home versus state power, which is being used to protect property. It frames the whole debate in the clearest, most visceral terms you can imagine.
But a song isn't just its story, right? It's how that story is told. So let's break down the musical and lyrical toolkit that makes this anthem a genuine tool for protest.
This is where you can really see how the artistic choices all serve a political purpose. That driving, march-like rhythm, it makes you feel the momentum of a crowd, a movement pushing forward. We already talked about the collective we and its power to build that sense of solidarity. And the language, it's direct, it's simple, and it's totally confrontational. It's designed for impact, not for poetic beauty.
Yeah, the language itself feels like it's built for a fight. It uses these simple rhymes, hard-hitting cadences, and short sentences that sound just like slogans you'd be shouting at a rally. There's no room for irony or subtle interpretation here. It's all concrete images, houses, streets, police, creating this sense of a raw, undeniable reality.
So this brings us to a really central question about what this song is ultimately trying to do. What is its main goal? Well, the song is so effective because it refuses to be just one thing. It actually operates on two different levels at the exact same time, looking both backward into the past and forward into the future. So on one hand, it's like a documentary, an indictment. It's a historical record that points a finger, accusing the state of using excessive force. But on the other hand, it's a powerful tool for mobilization. It uses this one story as an example to inspire solidarity and argue that resistance is absolutely necessary. It looks backwards to accuse, and it looks forwards to inspire.
And the result of that dual mission is a song that leaves absolutely no room for neutrality. With its raw clarity and its moral conviction, it presents a conflict and demands that you, the listener, choose a side.
So, we've dissected the song. But why are we talking about a 50-year-old protest anthem today? Why does it still matter?
I mean, what gives a 50-year-old piece of protest art a life beyond its own time? For the Rauch-Haus-Song, the answer is, well, kind of depressing. The problems it's screaming about never really went away.
The core conflict it describes is still completely with us. Housing shortages, rents that are skyrocketing, gentrification, and all these debates about who has the right to the city. These issues are arguably even more intense now than they were in the 1970s. The song's themes haven't aged one bit.
And that's where its lasting power really comes from. Its radical simplicity. It strips away all the complexity and makes a huge social issue something you can hear, something you can feel, something you can march to. It literally transforms a political debate into an audible conflict.
And that leaves us with a final thought. The Rauch-Haus, that one building, had its song. But all around us, in cities everywhere, buildings are at the center of so many social and economic struggles. It really makes you wonder, if the walls of our own cities could talk, what songs would they be singing today?